so thank you for having us. Lovely to be here. We are Em and Zay, or Em, he's probably going to prefer Isaiah today, aren't you?
Yeah, Isaiah.
Yeah. If I call him Zay, I'm talking to the same person. So we are the regional leaders for Youth Alive in the Hunter. So it means that we look after Newcastle, Lake Macquarie, all the way up to Muswellbrook, and all the way down to like the Central Coast is kind of like our cut-off point. Then it moves into another region. So it's quite a large area. Lots of big and exciting things that happen in that space. But I guess to get to know us a little bit more before we dive into that. So we are Newcastle born and bred. We have been together for a decade, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. Together for 10, married for 8 now.
Yeah. All cruisy, all great.
Yeah, it's been bliss.
Always. I grew up in church, so my mum and dad are the pastors of Live Free Church over in Adamstown, so I'm a PK, so I don't know any life outside of church, but I love it, and I stayed, which is cool, but I'm very thankful to my mum and dad for the way that they have modelled ministry life, because it felt like it gave me permission to follow God's calling, and I probably wouldn't have done that if I hadn't seen them say yes when it felt scary, so I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, we over the years we've done a lot of ministry together, and it's been great. And we've now got our own little family going. We've got 2 little kids. We've got little Boaz, who will be 5 in a couple of weeks, and then little Evie, who will be 3 in 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, life is very, very busy.
This is Hayes. This is our Hazy.
Yes.
She's our Great Dane, who is just like another
45-kilo dog. I think she fits on your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
So, yeah, life is very busy with 2 kids. We both work full-time. We do ministry full-time. We do Youth Alive whenever we get a spare minute as well, which is not very many. Life can be very hectic, and we love it. It is the life that we chose, and we love every second of it. So
yeah, and God graces us for it, and that's I think the big thing that when you are stepping into God's calling and you're doing the things that He's asked you to do, He graces you for the season, and so we very much have seen that, in our life. And so 3 things to know about us is that we love young people. So we have the privilege of working with lots of different young people. They are very incredible. They are resilient. They are from all walks of life. They've experienced lots of different things, but it's a privileged space to sit in. And as someone whose life was very much, impacted in my youth years to set me up for where I am now, I have such a heart for young people. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we try to be real, as real as we can. We don't come up here and we don't want to preach something that, sounds good on a Sunday, but then come Monday you've forgotten it and you can't actually act it out. We're not perfect. We don't try to be. We don't pretend to be. We're just trying to follow Jesus as faithfully as we can. And we just want to bring others along for that journey.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing about us is that we believe in the power of story. And so probably lots of what you'll hear from us this morning is actually storytelling. Jesus taught from stories, and we believe in the power of testimony. And so I guess that's what we're going to kind of do a little bit today. We'll give a little bit of a snapshot of Youth Alive, but then as we share later around the word, it's going to be a lot of story, and I hope that that's okay.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Youth Alive, at its core, it is a national movement that exists to reach young people. And it is to reach young people for Jesus and to raise up the next generation of strong, faith-filled leaders. So that's what we get the privilege of doing in the Hunter. And, we've been leading the Hunter for this year, but, we've been involved with Youth Alive for, I don't even know how long, a long time.
Yeah. And it's really beautiful to be a part of something that's more than just like what's going on here. Across the nation, Youth Alive runs lots of rallies. They do leadership training. There's a thing called the Youth Alive Academy. They do mission trips. They do lots of different things. And so, we're super excited about what's obviously happening here for us in the Hunter. But to know that it's a bigger thing than just us is such a beautiful thing. And this is just like a little snapshot. So not 2025 numbers, but this is what 2024 kind of looked like for us in terms of across the whole state of New South Wales at the events that we had
So
and
this
whatnot.
is at our state event that we ran last year in Sydney. So all of the regional rallies, all the regions of New South Wales got together in Sydney at Hillsong's Convention Centre, and this is just a few of the stats that came out of that. So you've got over 2,000 faith commitments, whether that be the first time that a student has given their life to Jesus, or it's a recommitment into that. We handed out over 1,200 Bibles as well. There was over 10,000 students in attendance in that convention centre. As well as with the academy, there was over 600 people that graduated from that.
And it's pretty epic, right? And like we're not numbers people. Like we don't care so much about statistics. But when you actually put it, pen to paper, and you go, this is the impact that it's having. Like it's a pretty thing to be able to sit there and go, okay, God, you're so cool, because that couldn't happen without the grace of God, right? So
yeah. So that's last year's state stats. We have already seen God move in powerful ways. Just last month, it was briefly mentioned that we ran the Hunter regional rally. So we ran two for the Upper Hunter and the Lower Hunter. So lower was our Newcastle, Lake Macquarie kind of areas, and then the upper was our Maitland, Cessnock, Port Stephens kind of area.
we do know that they're polar opposites, just FYI, but we had to try and make it work with the label.
So, and just with those two rallies, we saw over 1,000 kids attend those rallies. And that was, from spanning from across the entire region. And, we got them all in the room to worship and to hear the gospel. And we gave them a chance to respond to Jesus as well.
Yeah, which is epic. And I think too, just to know that there's church buy-in from across the Hunter. It's not just for one denomination, but it's about the church coming together collectively. And I think that that's the beauty of things like Youth Alive. It's not just for one avenue, but it's to actually go, we're part of something bigger. It's church with a capital C. This isn't just for one group of people, but it's for all of us. And so we've got a little highlight video from that. Did you want to see it? Yeah? Beautiful.
So, yeah. So it seems like a lifetime ago that we actually did that because so much of life has happened since that last month. But that was our Lower Hunter event, and that one was the bigger one out of the two. So we had about, I think, over 650 kids just at that one. And so we've got a really good problem to have, which is why we had to split. We actually can't find a venue that can fit all of us in one spot
within the budget, if that makes sense.
Yes,
there's lots of venues, but
yes,
budget.
So it's a great problem to have so many kids wanting to come, and that we actually can't find a building to fit them in. So that is why we've split them up into that upper and lower.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So there is other things happening with Youth Alive for the remainder of the year. It's not just a one-off event kind of thing. So for us in the Hunter, in just a couple of weeks' time, we've got what's called an Equip Night, and it is for our youth pastors and youth leaders across the Hunter just to come together. We would do dinner, some socialising and connecting, because we know that sometimes ministry life can feel lonely. And so just to know that there's other people doing the same kind of things and navigating the same kind of challenges. And so we'll have a guest speaker that's coming that night. His name is Stephen Lott, and he is a gun and a veteran in youth ministry, which is awesome. And he's going to kind of speak to our leaders around what does it look like to do youth in 2025? What are some of the challenges that we're facing? What are some of the things that we're finding really hard? And just provide a space, I guess, just to safely resource and ask questions and just kind of come together in that space. So that's going to be at the end of August. It's going to be awesome. And then later in the year, we have got our state rally. So, which they kind of spoke a little bit before just about the one that took place last year. So in November, we're heading down to Sydney. We're going to be at the ICC in Darling Harbour. I think it's the 3rd of November, I think. Whatever the first Saturday in November is, that's the date that it's happening. And it's going to be awesome. So that's for the whole state to come together. And that's a pretty epic thing to be a part of, like to be a young person in the room and be like, it's not just me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so our goal when we took over as the regional leaders for the Hunter was not just to reach out to the kids, but we also want to build up the leaders in the Hunter as well. Because, our leaders are the ones doing the work out there. And, so we wanted to create spaces for in places where we can support those youth ministries of all sizes, whether they're big, small, whatever. And we want to be able to create moments where the young people, they get a genuine encounter with Jesus, not just that hype, oh, I think that's Jesus. We really want them to experience it.
Yeah. I guess the last thing that we'll talk about, because it is super relevant, is that Youth Alive has a thing called the Youth Alive Academy. And I think when people hear that, they're like, yes, it's about equipping young people. But it's actually so much more than that. So it's in partnership with Alpha Crucis College, and it's a 1 day a week course. It happens on a Thursday, but it's actually designed for anybody. So not just young people, not just old people, anyone in between, who maybe have got like an interest in leadership or youth or mission work. And it is an incredible course, open to anybody. But the idea of that is to actually equip people as they are serving in their churches or serving within their ministries or whatever workplace you kind of find yourself in, because they're all skills that you can use across anywhere. But yeah, that's what Youth Alive Academy is. So if you want to know any information about that, feel free to come and chat to us about it, or head to the website. It's probably got more information than I'll be able to give you, and I'll probably just head you to there anyways. But yeah.
And, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are here to serve the local church. We're not trying to run our own thing and, we're the regional leaders, yippee, whatever. We really want to just build up those youth ministries in the Hunter so that, the kids, the reason why we do all of this youth ministry stuff, have their lives changed. Yeah.